Tuatara Films, Drusilla?
Yep.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
I'll stand up because I'm short. I hope everybody has read my folders. This is actually 14 years' work. I am a strategic planner, entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, and we have a lot of things in the pipeline. The biggest problem I find with the council is lack of communication. 5 minutes to do a presentation, and we're talking 14 years' work, an $8 million project, and that's just one. And that's what I find very hard. Long-term vision, we need rail. Your population base is moving out of the city. They will probably stay out of the city, but they're coming into work. And you may not also realise that, like in Rangiora, 60% of your teachers and that all come from Christchurch. And the buses, I start sometimes on call, 6 o'clock in the morning. I did traffic management yesterday. I'm doing construction. I'm an event organiser, right? What I found was no bus for your workers. You go to the bus exchange, no food and drink. After hours, if we have a civil emergency, there's no water. There's no signs telling people. These are straight basic things. We need to get the basics right. And the problem seems to be basically communication. Where's our open clinics? What's wrong with having a cup of tea once a month? People walk in with an idea, talk to things, because that's what's actually happening. Fletcher's doing their, Sarah's doing their thing. Why are they planning our city and they have the door shut? I'm really annoyed about the Majestic getting bold, our youth getting shoved out into the outskirts. That was a great facility. I'm an event organiser. We've been planning on this. Now, first of all, I want to say I love you. I think you're doing a good job. All right? Now, my film project is 12 to 20 million. It's in the Mingjing period. Through doing the elections, I found that they were going to build an industrial site over the city water near the graves, the cemetery graves for the earthquake victims. We were actually going to film in Taranaki, okay? So I've done seminars for 25 years, Screen Canterbury for 8, and what I've realised, I thought, hey, why don't we build a Japanese garden there and develop that into a film set? Long-term vision 220. It's a pie in the sky. It involves, first of all, protecting the land, making sure that nobody builds an industrial site next to the graves. This is very, very, to me, that's a big thing. But I'm looking the long-term vision. Our city should be the garden city of dreams. Our logo should be the art gallery, should not be the cathedral. We need to do a land swap for the cathedral. It's causing a lot of bad karma. And actually, I'm really angry about the cathedral, but also too, now talking as a singer, I'm a singer. If you actually rebuilt that cathedral as a trust, it could be a great event centre for the city, plus the town hall. What I'm finding as an event organiser, even though you're building half these things, we can't even get in. Okay? Now, I showed you the map with the stars. What I've actually done is just $15,000 of my own stuff. I've set up events all over Christchurch. I live in Rangiora. We built a $19 million pool. What people don't realise, that was 6 years of lobbying, community group of 40, the council, they set up a legal structure, they had community people. The Lions Club spent 8 years making playhouses to make $40,000 for the middle pool. The QE2 site, I was one of the original, we did the Elmwood Players, we did the Round the World in 80 days, the whole of Christchurch funded for all of that. Why has that money gone elsewhere? Well, that money should really go back to the QE2 site. We're talking maybe 127 million or 90 million. That should go back to the QE2 site. I don't believe that you will be able to build a 50-metre pool. And we built a 25 metre, 8 lanes, and that cost 19 million covered. You can ring up David Ayres of Waimakariri, and he will tell you all that and how much it cost and whatever. I believe, first of all, pick your site. If you pick your site, Kiritu, and then you've also got the Metro Centre, I believe you need to strategically plan these things. I am for the stadium. The reason why I put the stadium in the plan now is you need to start planning for the stadium. What I've also noticed now, if you're knocking all the buildings down, plus our history, we go in there. Why am I going to go in there? We're going to have to go in for events. Now, the Elsley Flower Show, great facility. I love the marketing, but it was too big, no communication. Doing a survey, I use the internet, I use email, but I don't do surveys. But I'll walk in and have a cup of tea, and I'll tell you, I spent 2 hours waiting at the bus stop. I got given the wrong bus. I got the wrong directions. So what's it going to be like for tourists? I walk in and I see one tent, Continental, great facility, see the other one. You only needed one. I do trade shows. I've been doing trade shows for 20 years. Why do I need to go and see a trade show? The Gardens facility, I went there specifically to see the Bondi display. And the fashion show was to die for, okay? I shouldn't have to come here in 5 minutes. You know, I'd like to just talk about that type of thing over a cup of tea than everything else. Now, getting back with our youth, we need to support our youth. As a parent, if you get on the internet now, as a tradie, I can get a job in Wellington or Auckland right now. Right? What's keeping me here? My children do music. My children are doing education. All right? Another thing that I've noticed with you bringing in a lot of immigrants and that for your trades, that's good. You know, some of that's good. But what's happening now, our own people who haven't been trained, and I'm talking adults, are getting left behind. I'm really for adult apprenticeships, and I'll tell you why. I'm a tradie, I'm a qualified cabinet maker, I've been out of it 20 years. Last year I was catching 4 buses to go and do the pre-training, okay? It cost me money, now I've had to buy a car. As a tradie, I cannot get work anywhere unless I've got a car. So these are the issues people are facing. And then the other thing is our film industry has gone back 20 years. We need to have some kind of website for our film, okay? We're talking money. And bus exchange, rail, youth, Green Moon Network. Sorry. And but anyway, with the event organising, what I've done is set up festivals, charity balls, right? And then we've got a strategic merchandising. Now, I actually ran the Sumner community board and said, I've got a photo for Sumner of 210. Why can't we get the rights for that to put on a T-shirt? And I will give you that, and you can use that as part of the fundraising for the new project. The answer I got was, sorry, it's not on my mandate. I'm sorry. Does that help? 5 minutes. Any questions?
We've still got another minute. Yep, Andrew.
I'll ask a question. Thank you very much indeed for a really impassioned submission. Clearly you're involved in lots of different facets of life in the city, and you know I'm loving the vision that you put forward in some ways as well. You know, a really active city centre with the cathedral, the town hall, the majestic theatre. You know, it's your vision for the city is great. I notice point number 4, is it? Point number 3 on your submission is the Victoria clock, and you didn't mention that in what you've spoken to us about this afternoon. What was your thoughts about the Victoria clock?
What happened was when I came here, there was a gentleman. He got up and did a presentation in front of Bob Parker. And I thought it was a great idea. And his was that one of the faces on the clock stops. And part of what I do is go around and look at different logos and different things on when we do our film. I forgot to tell you that I've got another film project which is called Gumboot, and which is target market under 8. That'll be filmed 2/16. So we're setting up all the festivals. We've done Santa's Lost Key, and that'll be New Regent Street, the Antarctic Street, the Antarctic Centre. It's one of 20 stories. If you imagine Big Bird and Sesame Street, I've got Gumboot, New Regent Street, the Chalice, the Fly Machine. It's 8 years of planning. 2:16 we film it. We've already got 90% of the stock. The Victorian clock is part of it as well, okay? So when I see things, this is what I do. I check out all the sites, then I turn around and visualise how we're going to film it, and then not only is it going to be filmed, the whole script will actually be developed so that a community group can put a play on every 2 years and say, we've got the Woolston Workmen's Club and we've also got the Scottish Society Hall in Edgware. When we put on a production, once I get 2 drama companies going, then half the money will actually go to that community. What the problem is with the creative community fundings, you can't fund for, I cannot get funding, but I can give a community group the stock, and that's what I've done. Every group I work with, they end up with about $1,600 worth of stock, and that enables them to apply for a grant to do their funding. And what will happen is, say if they're doing a Christmas grotto, we did Ashgrove, I loaned them $2,000 worth of stock. We turned around and we did an event. We had 4,000 children through, and they made 6,000. So then when things go through council, and you say, like, just give me an example, New Brighton, and you say, oh, we're going to fundraise for this pool, but we're actually 20 or 40% short, then we will come up with a strategy, and they might turn around and say, well, we've already been doing DVJIT. What you don't know is that my vision for Christchurch is that about 217, 218 we'll have a Green Moon Festival down Victoria Street, which will be jazz, blues and film. But what we also will be doing in Kaipoi, New Brighton, Littleton is Pirate Festival. And so what I'm actually waiting on, sorry I won't be too long, is actually the Sumner Surf Life Club to be built, and we're going to put in Santa Grotto in there. And then I'm also waiting on the Littleton Woolston Workmen's Club. We're going to put a wardrobe in there, so that means the loons can fund, it means Akaroa can come over and fund their hospital. I've looked at all that type of stuff. Does that help?
That's very helpful. Thank you very much, Drusilla. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Cheers.